Going into our third match of the day of this round robin group stage, we have the Songwriters versus Team Predators on Northern Fjords. Let's take a look at the Songwriters loadouts, starting with a sandwich, piloted by Finks. It is a Hades Mobula, light carronade Artemis flamethrower. Their ally is the Duck Duck Goose, piloted by Nano Duckling. It is a Hwachafish, left side light carronade, right side light carronade. And for Team Predators, we have Fiasco Total bringing back the Fiesta. Heavy carronade Goldfish, left side flamethrower, right side flamethrower. And the Greasy Dream, piloted by Mighty Keb. It is a Gatling Banshee Squid with a rear light carronade. So red team's already taken a very forward position into the center of the map. Sandwich is definitely going to have the range advantage in most of these fights, so Team Predators is going to want to close the distance when possible. It looks like Sandwich is going to be dropping down and turning to face the Greasy Dream, but this is going to give Fiesta the opportunity to come up from behind on the Songwriters, getting a nice heavy carronade disable on the Duck Duck Goose. Going to take a Hwacha in the face. And now Greasy Dream is running up. He's going to target the Sandwich. Looks like this is how the Predators want to split off into this fight. Greasy Dream going to try to stay in the blind spot of the Sandwich, get that Gatling, get that Banshee. Mobula, one of the few ships that's actually sort of vulnerable to the Gatling Banshee, just because it has such a large hitbox on the top. So as long as you can stay above it in the blind spot, this is a very safe way to take it down. As you see, the Banshee's coming down, already at half health, already at 1/3 health. Just, one clip of Banshee doing a lot of damage, but they have to be careful here. Greasy Dream taking a Hwacha, losing their whole armor, losing some engines. And Duck Duck Goose is actually going to bump their ally a little bit. I feel like Fiesta needs to get some good disables here. They haven't been contributing that much to the fight. They let Duck Duck Goose escape from their grasp, preventing Greasy Dream from actually being able to secure the kill on the Mobula. And now the Greasy Dream is in a bad spot. They've lost all the components on their ship, and the Mobula is dropping down the support to help support their ally get that kill. This is actually a good place for them to drop. It's going to be very difficult for the red ships to follow. This might lend an opportunity if they can get a Greasy Dream can get their balloon out. They might be able to hydro out here. They need to dodge this Hwacha though. Duck Duck Goose actually taking a little bit of a bump. So you know what I was saying about this being a weird spot to kind of pursue a target down. Duck Duck Goose actually bumping the wall, throwing off their Hwacha, losing their balloon in the process, and now Greasy Dream has gotten the opportunity to move up. Fiesta dropping down. Looks like they're gonna trade. Fiesta actually might be able to bump the Duck Duck Goose into the Mobula, but that's gonna bump the Mobula up, allowing them to keep gun arcs on the Greasy Dream. And now we're going to have both the red ships facing the Greasy Dream. They're going to explode and die. And Fiesta left all on their own. Good light carronade from the Duck Duck Goose on the right side. And Fiesta's going to have a lot of trouble escaping here. They do get the heavy carronade disable on the Sandwich, but they're going to take a Hwacha, just barely keeping their whole armor up. And it looks like they might get smashed here. No, they're going to be able to move forward just fast enough to get away. Or at least to dodge the ram. Engines are going to go down. Whole armor is going to go down. Sandwich is going to lend its DPS. But here comes the Greasy Dream. So if Fiesta can stay alive long enough for the Greasy Dream to take down this Mobula, we might have a bit of a turnaround for the Predators. Armor going down for the Sandwich. They're hydroing up. An excellent dodge from Finks. Duck Duck Goose is going to move in and try to get the squid off of their ally, but I'm not sure their Hwacha is going to reload in time. The armor's going to go down on the Sandwich. but no Banshees. I'm not quite sure what happened there. It looks like they still might be able to get the kill, or maybe not. Yeah, the Banshee's just not coming out there, but I think Fiesta's going to be able to pick up this kill with the balloon disable. Sandwich is going to have nowhere to go. They're going to smash him. They're going to smash him good. Yeah, you think your ship is OP? My ship is OP. Although not getting the ram there. Oh, Fiasco, what are you even... What are you... The squid goes down in the meantime. I don't... Some severe piloting mistakes from Fiasco. Missing both the rams. Not able to kill the Mobula. Now they're going to take another Watcha Barrage. They're keeping their engines protected, so they still have the ability to escape. They have a lot of balloon to work with if they want a hydro. Greasy Dream has elected to take the close spawn, so wonder if they're going to go help their ally with the Duck Duck Goose or try to finish off the Mobula. I think they're going to go with the latter. The Mobula is so heavily damaged, and I'm sure the Predators know that. So the Gatling's going to take down the armor here, but they really need... Banshee's just a little bit early. And Watcha... A great Watcha Barrage from the Duck Duck Goose, totally shutting down the Greasy Dream. I mean, maybe if they had tried to go for a ram, they probably could have finished off the Mobula. It seemed like the Gatling was just barely not able to take down the whole armor. And actually what finished it off was the fire, burning it down. But with this, the Sandwich has descended to try to stay alive, and this has left Duck Duck Goose near the flight ceiling with both the blue ships, which will slowly be equalized by carronade use on both sides. Sandwich losing their balloon might actually fall, barely not falling onto their ally. Good disable from the Fiesta, just taking out the heavy, the Watcha on the Duck Duck Goose. Greasy Dream going to be using that rear light carronade, not taking out the balloon of the Sandwich, but heavily damaging it. Reducing its vertical mobility is very important. And Fiesta moving in very quickly all of a sudden. Blocking for his ally. But using that heavy carronade, not ramming for whatever reason. Sandwich is going to hydro up, bumping up the Greasy Dream. Light carronade going to be coming out from the Duck Duck Goose, damaging the Fiesta's balloon. Greasy Dream just kind of hanging out. One thing the blue ships really should be doing more of is bullying the Mobula, especially when their balloon is damaged. When a Mobula has a damaged balloon, it makes it very difficult to dodge. I feel like these blue ships could be doing a lot more in the area of knocking out, just hitting them with their ship, knocking that around their gun arcs, and maybe even getting the kill. But Greasy, this is not the way you want to do it. You don't want to advance into their gun line. Flamethrower coming out from the Sandwich. Oh, Sandwich getting very aggressive. Oh, just blending them into the sky with the top of their ship. Mobula is secretly the best ramming ship. Not everyone knows it, but it's very difficult to dodge a Mobula that wants to ram you. Fiesta waiting it out at the bottom of the map. He's heavily damaged, so he really does not want to fight until his ally is able to rejoin him. I imagine Fiesta's he's gonna wait. Wait until the red ships become occupied with the squid, then hydro up. Now the question is which one he's gonna choose to engage. It looks like it's gonna be the Mobula if they can finally get the kill on this mob. This mob has been it's so damaged for so long. It's kind of insane that they haven't managed to kill it yet. He's finally gonna try to go for that ram, but he's not gonna get it. Was this a light Karen? Or light, yeah. Good disable on the sandwich, taking out the heavy carronade of the Fiesta. Now the Duck Deuce is going to come in. And the Fiesta need to be careful with their hull armor. They're at such low health that if it goes down, they're going to die very quickly. But the same can be said of the sandwich, and the sandwich actually charging forward away from the Greasy Dream, losing their balloon in the process. And are these Banshees finally going to take down that Mobula? Boy howdy. And now the Duck Goose left on his own, losing the Watcher to the Gatling, losing their whole armor to the Gatling. Banshees coming out, doing a decent amount of damage, but they don't want damage, they want kills. And let's see if this third or fourth clip of Banshee can finally take him out. I feel like with the heavy carronade of the Fiesta assisting, this won't be too hard. But just excellent tanking on that red goldfish. Finally going down, but making a good effort of it. Sandwich taking a smart spawn fairly far back. Man, Songwriter is maybe getting a little too... No, I don't... what that was, it was just the Mobula being so heavily damaged and dying so quickly. I'm not sure what they really could have done in that situation, aside from if they had chose to play a little more conservatively. But I don't think that's really how they want to approach this match. So we're gonna finally have a moment of rest for everyone involved, including myself. The teams have finally, we've got a full disengagement with both teams on opposite sides of the map. I imagine Greasy Dream is going to split off and try to do a little scouting, find the location of the red team. And Red's actually going to move straight back into the center of the map. It looks like they're itching to fight again. So Greasy Dream he's pretty far south. He needs to rejoin this fight very quickly because they're soon going to be firing on the Fiesta. And Fiesta's going to have to drop down and zone out these shots. God, going into a fight like this with such a heavily damaged ship is just such a huge liability. Fiesta's going to have to be so careful. Like, they now don't have the option of ramming, because if their whole armor, they could very easily kill themselves in that ram. But we do have the Greasy Dream now moving up behind the Duck Goose. Gatling's going to come out. It's going to take down the whole armor. We're going to have some Gatlings. Is he going to go for a ram? Not really doing any damage. That was kind of strange. A weird angle, and it looks like they're going to try to double team the Duck Goose. Greasy Dream shooting below the Hwacha. And he's going to split off and go for the Mobula. At the same time, Fiesta is blending down the Duck Goose. Not fast enough to prevent them from Hwachoing their ally. Greasy Dream, unfortunately, with all these engines out, they're trying to stay in the blind spot of the sandwich, but without engines, that's very difficult to do. So they're just going to slowly coast into this rock and take another Hwacha barrage. Fiesta is keeping the sandwich oppressed, so at the very least, the Mobula's DPS is not going to be a factor in this fight for a little bit. giving Greasy Dream time to rebuild everything, time to recover. Fiesta's going to dive under Duck Duck Goose. He's going for the sandwich, and we might see that ram finally. He needs to be careful here not to coast over the Mobula, though, because if he hits that and loses his gun arcs, that could be pretty bad. The Mobula dodging upwards. He wants to move closer to the center of the map where the terrain is much deeper. He doesn't want to land on one of those slopes. He wants to sort of stay above where the deepest part of the map is, so he has more room to fall when he loses his balloon. Carronades going out everywhere, but no balloons coming out. Fiesta's gotten up behind the sandwich. Sandwich is going to be kerosining forward. Fiesta, he's going for a ram. He's going to try it again. Let's see if this time he can maybe convert it into a kill. No. Sandwich just barely able to rebuild their balloon in time and rise up. Flamethrowers. Little tap from the Duck Duck Goose is going to finish the squid off. Fiesta. Stay high, Fiesta. Don't go down there. There's death below you. It'll be interesting to see where the squid decides to spawn. Fiesta leading red team back towards the spawn point so the Greasy Dream can re-engage more quickly. They might be able, if they team up, they might be able to kill this Mobula, but they have a very short window to do it before the Duck Duck Goose starts watching away their guns and engines. And Fiesta taking out the Duck Duck Goose's balloon, but the Greasy Dream not able to stop the Greasy Dream from taking a lot of damage in the process, losing their own balloon. Desperate Banshees hitting full hull armor. Watcha finally finishing off that squid again, and man, that was a really long that game was much longer than I feel it should have been, but we do have Songwriters finally able to take the match. Or sorry, take the first game in this match. Moving into our second game of this set between the Songwriters and Team Predators. This is going to be Duel at Dawn. And let's take a look at the loadouts. First off, for the Songwriters, we have Finks bringing the sandwich again. Hades Mobula, Artemis Light Caro, Artemis Flamethrower. Their ally is the Duck Duck Goose, Watcha Fish, piloted by Nano Duckling. It has light side light carronade, right side light carronade. And for Team Predators, we have the Fiesta, heavy carronade goldfish, left side Banshee, right side Banshee, piloted by Fiasco Total. And Saint Crossing, Team Predators finally bringing a Mobula, piloted by Mighty Kev. Maybe giving up on the squid for this match. Oh yes. Oh yes, this is the double gap mortar Mobula. And they were also bringing two Artemis for the outer wings. This is one of my favorite builds. And I really hope he doesn't kill it before the match starts. Flying through his terrain. The Brawl Mobula is a deadly beast. You can kill a ship so quickly with the double Gatling and the mortar. And if with their vertical acceleration, you can really get the drop on someone. And if you do, like, that's the end for them. So it looks like blue team has already managed to separate themselves. And Fiesta's going to be engaging Sandwich here, taking out their balloon. Mighty Kev really needs to get in this fight with his Mobula. Fiesta's not going to be able to 2v1 this, unfortunately. Oh, Mighty Kev, what are you doing? No. That's terrain, you can't fly through that. Oh dear. Fiesta, the heavy carronade at least is a fairly disruptive weapon, so he can, you know, if he can't get kills, he can at least stay alive long enough for for St. Crossing to finally come back in. And Sandwich actually might drop onto this pipe, and that'll be very bad for the red Mobula. No. Able to dodge it. And it looks like he's going to stay behind the Sandwich as they move forward to take out St. Crossing. Armor's already going down on the St. Crossing. The Hades, very powerful weapon. Watcha coming out. Oh, jeez. Oh, Watcha finishing them off. So I was talking earlier about how you with the double gap mortar Mobula, you kind of want to get the jump on your target because you have a lot of firepower, but it's a lot of close range firepower. So if you charge directly into the gun line of the more common Hades double Artemis Mobula, like those Artemis are going to take down your guns before you actually get into range. So I don't know. The whole start of that fight was messed up. It seemed like Mighty Kev was just having difficulty with their spawn point, and is preventing them from getting the start of the engagement that they wanted and rejoining the fight. But now they have managed to close the distance. And they're dodging away from the Mobula for some reason. I guess they are afraid of the light carronade, which is taking out their balloon. No, there's no gun. Well, okay, target's going to be Duck Duck Goose, apparently. St. Crossing, oh boy. Already losing a bunch of their permahull from that ram. See, like, there are no Gatlings. There's some delay. Something's happening. Like, the engineers or finally, actually, the whole armor's going down. The mortar's coming out. Oh, no. They finally got their guns firing in concert. Just to go down. I mean, I'm no expert at that build, but it seems to me that the engineers are maybe spending a little too much time repairing that they're not getting the Gatlings fast enough, because if you don't have your firepower go, like, the point of that build is to get very fast kills and then repair after. Like, after the enemy's dead, then you can repair stuff. But it seems like that is not what they're electing to do. And in the meantime, Duck Duck Goose has been having its way with Fiesta, and this is the end for the Blue Goldfish. I'm not sure I've seen Mighty Kev actually flying a Mobula in competitive, so I do wonder. That is a build that the Predators have brought. Scrimscraw, notably being one of the pioneers of that build. So certainly he'll have a very experienced tutor. But he's going to want to stay concealed here. He needs to wait for his ally before he goes into another fight. They just have not been getting the types of engagements they want. And potentially, if red team charges in here, they might be able to... Well, I was going to say surprise them, but clearly they've already been spotted. However, Duck Goose has been isolated. It looks like Sandwich has kind of come in at a bad angle and he's blocked off by the rib. So if St. Cross... Okay, it looks like we do have Mighty Keb calling for a pause. But the ships are already firing at each other, so... I don't think they can pause in this situation with the goldfish directly in... I don't know, man. I'm glad I'm not a referee. I'm just the guy who talks incoherently into this microphone. But maybe, I guess that's why the Mobula didn't immediately engage that goldfish. Because this seems like a prime opportunity for them to get that quick kill that I've been talking about. And being down 3 points, the amount of time they have left to make a comeback is very rapidly shortening. As these ships try very hard to stay in one place against the wind currents. Poor Mighty Keb. I feel like he... Like, Mighty Keb piloting a Mobula is kind of like... I don't know, wearing a pair of pants that just don't quite fit. So you're always shifting them around. Alright, looks like we are unpaused. Light carronade from the Duck Goose coming out. A good attempt at a dodge from the St. Crossing. Looks like they unfortunately lost some of their guns. Fiesta knocking Duck Goose out of arc, but Sandwich is there to finish off the St. Crossing. It was a really rough spot for the Blue Mobula. Missing the second Caro shot, not getting the disable on the Sandwich. That was probably their only opportunity to turn this engagement around. They need to disengage, they need to get out of this fight, or at least stay alive long enough for the St. Crossing to come back in. So here's the problem, right? Fiesta's backing up here, and in doing so, they are leading the enemy team away from their ally. And they're definitely not going to be able to take a 2v1 engagement, although it looks like the red team has given up chase and they're going to turn to double team the St. Crossing now that the blue team has separated themselves out. But I'm not sure if this is the best situation, because Fiesta now is going to have the rear of the Duck Goose. He's going to be coming in from behind. Is this finally the opportunity for blue to get their first kill? Double Gatlings coming up on the Sandwich. Armor's about to go down. They just need one mortar hit. Just need one mortar hit. No. I think they're just maybe a little too high, just a little out of arc. Sandwich actually very aggressively going for a ram here. They have hull armor, their target does not, and already putting on a ton of damage with that ram onto the St. Crossing, but not able to finish the kill, thankfully, for the blue team. And I bet this flamethrower is super annoying. I mean, we were talking earlier about how the flamethrower is not that useful in competitive play, but it's the ship it's probably the best against is the Mobula, because it's very annoying to keep that all those components repaired. And you know, Mobula, Mighty Keb's Mobula not quite working out. Maybe take that one back to the workshop. Very decisive victory from the Songwriters. And I suppose we'll find out who's moving to the finals in just a moment.